Hey guys, welcome back to another great game of CEDH. Starting us off is Hidden Planet X on Magda. This is Mighty Morphin Dwarfs, aiming for lots of treasure and an instant speed tunable win con. His opening hand is a Chromox, Lotus Petal, Red Elemental Blast, a Braid, Axeguard Cavalry, Bloodline Pretender, and an Imperial Recruiter. Next up is Mike with Malcolm Vialsmasher. This is Grixis Pirates, using Malcolm's ability to accelerate on mana and as a two-part combo. His opening hand has a Flooded Strand, Mox Amber, Soul Ring, Ragavan, Pyroblast, Simian Spirit Guide, and Italian. In the third spot is Noah on Inalla. You honestly need to be a wizard to pilot this list. It's an intricate Grixis combo list aiming for Spellseeker loops. His opening hand is a Watery Grave, Lion's Eye Diamond, Soul Ring, Wheel of Fortune, Ruthless Technomancer, and a Misdirection, bottoming a Bloodline Necromancer. And bringing up the rear is Griffin on Bruse Thrasios. This is a Dawnwalker variant looking for several different infinite mana combos, or to use Seedborn and Thrasios to grind advantage. His opening hand had an Arid Mesa, Ottawaru, Mystic Remora, Training Grounds, Swan Song, Sylvan Library, and a Derevi.
Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board.
Hey guys, sorry for missing last week's episode. I was unfortunately recovering from CanadaCon, and thanks to everyone that I met. I also wanted to announce the winners of the 5K sub giveaway that finished up last month. All of the winners actually already got their prizes, and I just wanted to thank everyone for supporting the channel. But without further ado, let's get on to the gameplay.
Hidden starts off the game with a Chromox imprinting a Chaos Warp. He plays a Lotus Petal and then cracks it for his commander Magda, Brazen Outlaw. Mike plays and cracks a Flooded Strand. He finds a Volcanic Island. Next up is a Ragavan, which he then follows it up with a Mox Amber into a Soul Ring. Noah shocks in a Watery Grave and also has a Soul Ring, ending his turn with a Lion's Eye Diamond. Griffin plays an Ottawaru and has a dreaded turn 1 Mystic Remora, but in response, Mike exiles a Simian Spirit Guide for a red to cast a Pyroblast on the Remora. Hidden does find a mountain off the top and has a combat, swinging Magda at Noah. This will create a treasure token on attack, with Hidden then ending his turn with an Axeguard Cavalry. Mike plays an Exotic Orchard and casts his commander Malcolm, but it's Hidden's chance to respond as he cracks a treasure for a Red Elemental Blast. Mike then heads to combat and swings Ragavan at Noah, who reveals the steam vents off the top, with Mike creating a treasure and ending his turn there. Noah heads to his turn and unfortunately misses his land drop, passing after that. Griffin plays an Arid Mesa and cracks it for Savannah, ending his turn with a Sylvan Library. Hidden plays a Mutavault as land for turn and once again proceeds to combat. He turns his board sideways at Mike and creates 2 treasures. Mike taps out for 5 and recasts Malcolm. It resolves this time, with him then moving to combat. Ragavan swings at Noah, but Hidden is just here to ruin Mike's day, as he abrades the Malcolm. The monkey will connect as Noah reveals an Arid Mesa off the top, and Mike creates a treasure and passes. Noah draws for turn and does manage to hit his land drop, as he plays a Forbidden Orchard. He then taps it for mana and passes the spirit to Hidden. Noah then casts a Wheel of Fortune, which resolves and have everyone draw a new hand to 7. Griffin heads to his turn and triggers his library. He ends up paying 4 life to draw an extra card, and then plays a command tower as land for turn, ending his turn with a Devoted Druid. Hidden plays a mountain as land for turn and taps 4 to cast a Maskwood Nexus. It ends up resolving with him heading to combat. Hidden swings 3 creatures at Mike, and since they're now all dwarves, creates 3 treasures on Magda's trigger. He then chooses to activate Magda and searches out a Dockside. Dockside will ETB, with Mike then choosing to crack his 2 treasures in response. Dockside still nets Hidden 5 treasures, with Hidden choosing to activate Magda once again, this time searching out a cursed mirror. The mirror enters as a copy of Dockside, but with the ETB on the stack, Noah then taps 2 casts of Empiric Tutor. He finds a card to put on top and then cracks his Lion's Eye Diamond in a desperate attempt to save the game. He discards his hand and Hidden only makes 4 treasures off the ETB, ending his turn there, with Mike at his end step Vamp Tutoring. Mike untaps and then immediately taps 2 to cast a Thrasios Oracle. The Oracle does resolve, and holding priority, Mike casts a Tainted Pact. But Griffin to the rescue, as he casts an offer you can't refuse. Mike doesn't have a way to stop it, and creates 2 treasures. The Thassa ETB then resolves, with Mike looking at the top 2, and keeping 1 on top. Mike then ends his turn with a command tower into Heuristic Study. Noah draws his tutor card and casts his own Heuristic Study, not paying for Mike's. Griffin then heads to his turn and Sylvan's. He pays 4 life to keep an extra card. He plays a Scalding Tarn as land for turn, and then cracks the Tarn for a Taiga to cast a Minskin Boo. He doesn't pay for any Heuristic Study triggers, and the Walker then resolves, with him creating a Boo token off ETB. He then uses the Mink's +1 ability to put 3 counters on the Boo token, and then follows it up with a Mox Amber, not paying for Heuristic. He then taps the Mox Amber to cast an Esper Sentinel, still not paying, and with the last of his mana, taps for a red to Lightning Bolt the Magda, once again feeding cards to the Heuristic. Hidden plays a Mountain as land for turn and taps 4 to attempt to recast Magda a second time. He doesn't pay for the Heuristic, and after getting punished all game, Mike has a response, as he casts a Pact of Negation to counter Magda. Hidden then taps out to recast Magda, and still doesn't pay for the Heuristic Study, as the Dwarf resolves. He then moves to combat and swings 2 creatures at Noah, creating 2 treasures. Mike untaps and pays for Pact. A Polluted Delta then comes out and is sacrificed for an Underground Sea. He heads to combat and swings Ragavan at Noah. There are still no blocks, with Noah exiling a Spell Pierce off the top of his library. Mike then creates a treasure and heads to discard, discarding a Verdant Catacombs and a Siren Storm Tamer. Noah plays a City of Brass and then an Unmarked Grave. Mike in response Dark Rituals. He gives a card to both Noah and Griffin, and then casts an Oppo Agent. The agent resolves, but in response to the tutor, Noah casts a Chain of Vapor targeting the opposition agent, this time paying for the Heuristic, which is the first time a player is paid all game. Mike does have a response though, as he Flusterstorms. Noah misses the Heuristic trigger, and the Fluster resolves, with the opposition agent sticking. Mike then gets a look at Noah's hand and steals a Thassa's Oracle off the search. Noah then casts a Reanimate, with his target being the Scholar of Ages, who on ETB returns Misdirection and a Mindbreak Trap to hand. With Griffin at his end step casting a Noxious Revival to get back at Training Grounds. Griffin then moves to his turn and Sylvan's. He decides to pay 4 life to keep a card and plays a Waterlogged Grove as land for turn. Noah then downticks the Minskin Boo, and in response to the trigger, Hidden casts a Stoke the Flames, targeting the Boo. He doesn't pay for the Heuristic Study, and with him convoking the spell, also triggers Magda for 2 treasures. Griffin though does have a response, as he casts a Delay, targeting the Stoke the Flames. He doesn't pay for Heuristic Study, with it countering the removal spell. Hidden then gets his 2 treasures, with Griffin sacrificing the Boo to remove the Magda and draw himself 4 cards. Griffin then casts an Elvish Mystic and a Thrasios, not paying for either Heuristic Study, and man, I wish my Heuristics were this good. With Griffin then ending his turn, having to discard due to hand size, discarding 2 lands. Hidden has nothing better to do, other than recast Magda for the 4th time this game. Good thing Magda starts at 2. He can't pay for the Rhystic Study and gripes that Magda doesn't do anything while the Oppo agent is on board, in hope it resolves. Magda does end up resolving, as he then taps the Axe card to give Magda haste and create a treasure. Hidden then moves to attacks and sends his Dwarven Dockside at Mike. Hidden creates another treasure, and then on a second main, cracks both treasures to cast a high-speed hover bike, not paying for Rhystic. Mike then plays a Mana Confluence as land for turn and casts a Demonic Tutor, not paying for Rhystic. He tutors up a mystery card and then puts a defense grid on the stack. Noah draws, and in response exiles a Mystical Tutor to Force of Will the defense grid. It resolves with Mike missing his Rhystic trigger. Mike then casts a Conqueror's Flail and continues not paying for the Rhystic Study. Griffin then fires off his own Mindbreak Trap and pays for Mike's Rhystic, but not Noah's. And having eaten 2 counterspells, Mike continues, as he casts a Rite of Flame, still not paying for the Rhystic Study. He uses the red mana to cast a Final Fortune. Noah draws, but I honestly think he did forget about Noah's Mindbreak Trap, as the Final Fortune is exiled, with Mike then using his final mana on an Imperial Seal. Noah then heads to his turn and plays a Command Tower as land for turn. He casts a Tainted Pact. Esper triggers and Rhystic triggers, with Noah revealing a Dockside as his first card. Dockside count is 10, as he actually just stops there. He casts the Dockside, with Mike cracking his treasure to get the count down to 9, and Noah not paying for the Rhystic Study. Noah then channels out an Otawaro on the Oppo and casts an Intuition. He doesn't pay for the Rhystic and tutors up a Bloodline Necromancer, a Culling the Weak, and a Shallow Grave. Hidden gives him the Bloodline Necromancer, and unfortunately Noah does end up having the mana needed as he exiles a Simian Spirit Guide to help cast the Necromancer. With Griffin in a desperate attempt to draw Mike some interaction, casts an Enlightened Tutor to trigger the Rhystic Study. But unfortunately, I don't know what Mike tutored for, as it was not a counterspell, as Noah is able to rebuy his Ruthless Technomancer and loop it with Dockside to create infinite treasures, which lets him then loop the Scholar to rebuy Intuition and continuing comboing off. But the table can see the writing on the wall and just scoop it up.
Game review. Well, it looks like there was plenty of love going around that table. Well, maybe not for Magda. I really wouldn't have thought a single Rhystic Study and an empty hand would leave Noah to victory. But I guess when the table decides that it just won't stop feeding him cards, it really was only a matter of time. But overall, I think it was a good game of interaction. I think Mike's final turn probably should have been played a little bit differently when it at least came to spell order. And I think from now on, he'll definitely know to fear Inalla with a bunch of cards and mana. And tutor a damn counterspell. Thanks to everyone that joined for the game. And before everyone leaves, I want to thank our special Patreon members, Slyfox, Tango Down, and Holy Septic for their support of the channel, along with all of our other Patreon supporters as well. And remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.